recognize our co-valedictorians, Carter Gale, Autumn Harding, and Serrana Knotts. Please come. Attending the University of Pennsylvania. Autumn will be attending Western Washington University, and Serrana will be attending the University of Washington. A huge round of applause.
Back when we started our schooling adventure, our favorite things were the Jonas Brothers, especially Nick, and pizza.
I work at Pizza Factory.
Now, at the end of our journey, we still secretly love the Jonas Brothers.
And outwardly adore pizza.
Though some things never change, our voyage has led us through many transitions. We have new friends, new interests, and we know where babies come from.
Class of 2016, we have grown up together. We met in elementary school. Can I get a woo for Bridal Blick? We met in middle school, and even in the waning years of high school. Now that we are standing here on the cusp of adulthood, let's give a nod to those who've been our friends, our wardens, and our inspiration.
Everybody knows that seeing your teacher in a public place can be a traumatic experience. First, there's the initial panic. Do I say hi? Is that weird? What if she talks to my mom? Please don't talk to my mom. Then the shock. I mean, they don't spend every waking moment grading papers and they don't live in the teacher's lounge? But eventually you just have to accept the strange fact that your teacher has a house and a life and a personal life just like every other human being. This somewhat absurd example is a fantastic metaphor for the greatest lesson I've ever learned from my teachers. Life, like an onion or an ogre, has layers. Your teacher has a personal life just like the book you're reading or the show you're watching has a deeper message. I have learned that things should never be taken at face value. I should never stop searching for more. Teachers have instilled in me the inherent desire to dig deeper and peel back all the layers, and for that, I am eternally grateful. I know that because I have been enabled with the desire to learn, anything I want to do is achievable. Thank you, teachers.
Teachers have the ability to guide us through our best times, when we study hard for a test, when our eyes light up in understanding. However, the most important times we spend with our teachers are the trying ones. Teachers invariably see us at our lowest points. Some academic, but most not. Like that time I was really insensitive and pointed and laughed when a substitute teacher knocked over a projector. Not good. In fact, it's the teachers that carry us through the threshold from childhood towards adulthood. In kindergarten, I had a lonely desk by the bathroom because I could never stop talking. Today, of course, I still love to chatter, but I've turned my flaw into one of my greatest assets, and that's all thanks to you, my teachers.
Thank you for not just teaching us how to act like adults, but how to be adults. It is often said that it takes a village to raise a child, and you were an instrumental part of that village. We learned from you who we want to be, what we want to do, and what is most important, your book deadlines. Without you in our lives, we would never be here, taking these steps across, specifically those steps, across this stage and into adulthood. That being said, as a class, we must thank the other half of this village. So when everyone leaves these seats today, please give your parents and family a hug. While we may have been thinking about today for the last month, you have been anticipating it since before we could walk. To the moms, dads, step-parents, grandparents, guardians, and in my case, a Madison,
Madison did. Twin sister. His what? His twin sister.
we love and appreciate everything you have done for us, and understand that the investment in us is not something we can pay back, but we can only pay forward by striving to be as caring as you.
For those of us going off to college, it's going to be hard to say goodbye. Parents, here's what to expect as we journey off to the great unknown that is college. First, we will all probably go through the, wow, I miss you way more than I thought I was going to. How am I going to do this? My roommate is kind of a jerk and I'm not exactly sure to do my own laundry phase. Then at some point, we will all probably reach the, I'm a grown-up who's super busy away at college and I joined like 7 environmental clubs to save the environment and I'm super into bands you probably never heard of phase. Some of us will spend longer in this phase than others. Emma knows. Expect many phases in which you question our ability to take on so much at once and worry about our sanity as human beings. But you should also expect that there will be times when we will break down and lose faith in ourselves. There will be times when we'll show up unexpectedly to do laundry and you'll find us asleep cuddling our favorite childhood stuffed animal on the floor or playing with Legos in the middle of the night. Because no matter how old we get, no matter how grown up and mature we think we are, we're all gonna miss being kids, we're all gonna miss being home, and we will always be your babies. To my siblings, I will miss you. But really I'm just saying that because Mom's right there. But on a serious note, I'll miss being right down the hall from you, witnessing your catastrophes and your awkwardness while you witness mine. I will miss our stupid fights and the random things we bond over. I will miss being there for the little things, like your fridge-worthy artwork and our MMA-worthy wrestling matches. Soon, I won't be down the hall for you to barge into my room without knocking whenever you want to. But I promise I will always be there for you, every step of the way. And I'll come home to bother you every once in a while.
And Izumi, I'll be around to bother you all the time. But Mom, Dad, don't worry. We won't be wandering around campus arguing constantly. However, take consolation in knowing that we learn from our fights. In truth, as a family, it's our hard times that have taught us the most about valuing one another and holding each other up. From there, we've made our strong support net system that has upheld all of my endeavors and underpinned all of my reserves. Thank you. Thank you, Dad, for teaching me about integrity and perseverance. Thank you, Mom, for teaching me about our culture and how to let go of what other people think. And Izumi, thanks for laughing with me through it all. None of this would be worth it without you. Also, a quick shout out to my grandma and grandpa for coming. And my grandpa flew here all the way from Japan. Last summer, I went to Tokyo. And being in the world's most populous city made me reflect on how remarkable our small town is. And how unique our connections here are, especially at Kingston High School. I can't begin to describe how appreciated and included I felt here. On some of my darkest days, I've had people I hardly know show me the kindness that's really saved me. Thank you. From my experience here, the culture is predominantly one of respect and understanding. I'm confident that we'll carry that culture into the rest of our lives.
However, while we can go into this adventure with resounding optimism, we must also be realistic. After today, many of us will experience for the first time some of life's harsh truths. We might be cold, we might be hungry, we might be scared. Worst of all, we might feel alone. As we, the class of 2016, slowly break apart and take our own paths, we might feel obligated to grasp at fleeting relationships, ones that no longer seem like a natural fit. Some of us may already be feeling this. The fact is, don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to let go of Kingston and achieve on your own. And don't be afraid of becoming a new you, because who you were in high school is not who you will be for the rest of your life.
The world we live in is one that primarily values self-advancement. We tend to measure the worth of a person by how well they've established their wealth and standing in the world. As we enter this world of competition and judgment, let us challenge ourselves to think of success not as a numerical figure or a popularity rating, but rather as a measure of character. Not as a measure of personal advancement, but as a measure of how well we are effectively able to make a difference in the lives of other people. May you not define yourself by the money in your bank account or the trophies you've acquired, but by the content of your personality. Let us measure our class's successes through the number of people that we have inspired, the lives we have bettered, the moments of empathy we've experienced. Some of us are going on to make a difference in this world in a broad sense. Cancer research, missionary work, politics. Others of us are going to make an impact right here at home. Mechanics, nurses, teachers. Both career paths provide ample opportunity to make a positive difference in this world. We often feel more impact from the people who forge the trails we walk on every day than those who draft legislation. Whether you're on Bremerton cable access or C-SPAN from the White House, your ripple will be felt.
With all these opportunities to make changes, our generation has been called lazy and entitled. While I can agree that many of us spend too much time on Twitter, we are more exposed to the world around us than any generation before. We've been given the tools of technology to connect to the rest of the globe. And if you think that we aren't taking advantage of those tools, think again. During the time that we spend scrolling through news feeds, we find real news about our world, from presidential elections to wildlife conservation. Through mass exposure, we can help spread awareness for the issues that we find important, effectively setting the agenda for the problems that we want our generation to tackle. MTV conducted a poll asking millennials what we would rename our generation. The result? The innovators. It seems that we're ready to make the changes we want to see in our world. There are many of us already making strides to change what's trending.
So when we are told that we are entitled, remember what that means. It means that we feel deserving of something because other generations have fought for us to have it. 100 years ago, women would not have been entitled to vote. Last year, some of us wouldn't be able or entitled to marry the person we love.
President Bartlett of the West Wing once said, "When smallpox was eradicated, it was considered the single greatest humanitarian achievement of the century. Surely we can do it again, as we did in a time when our eyes looked towards the heavens, and with outstretched fingers, we touched the face of God."
Class of 2016, let us fight for the entitlements that future generations deserve.